Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with Jones Fantasy TV, man. Back at another video. The content is really going to smash that like button. The content of this channel. Always subscribe, man. Look, Ravens Chiefs tomorrow. Official kickoff to the NFL season. Usually I do like a game preview, before each and every game of the season. But it's the first game of the season, right? Really not too much to quote unquote preview, right? So, usually I get like stats and numbers and stuff like that. But it's the first game of the year, right? So we're just gonna go over how we feel and things like that, right? So. First, I want to talk about the injury report real quick. The Ravens are going to the game, pretty much all the way healthy, right? The only people that are not going to play, Rasheen Ali, I believe, is out, and Adisa Isaac is doubtful. It might be the other way around. But either way, two of the rookies that the Ravens drafted this year are not more than likely are not going to play in tomorrow's game, right? But even if they were healthy, how much time were they really going to get? Probably not much, right? So, but that's it right there, right? So. I want to talk about tomorrow's game is not a revenge game, right? I've been saying that a lot. People are asking Ravens players about that. I think Lamar Jackson had a quote about how every game is a revenge game, right? Anybody who he's lost to, he's trying to get back on, right? I think that's a good mindset to have, right? Also, shout out to Lamar Jackson. Saw the Gatorade commercial, man. Very happy that he has a major commercial deal. Long time coming for a great player, great athlete. So happy. I really was happy to see that commercial. And he was talking in it, right? You know what I mean? Really energetic about, in the beginning of the commercial. So I'm just happy to see that. But anyway, this game to me is not about revenge, right? It's about setting the tone for the year. Because listen, you cannot get revenge for what the Chiefs did last year. You can't, right? Chiefs won Super, so we beat them week one, right? Chiefs still won Super Bowl last year, right? The Ravens were still the best team in the league and still ended disappointed, right? This game is not going to change that, right? But what you can do in this game is set the tone for the season, right? Say that last year, okay, that was last year. That now we are still a good team, and going forward, we'll be one of the best teams in the NFL once again, right? I don't want to get caught up in the idea of revenge and we trying to get back because then say you beat the Chiefs, then what's your motivation for week two, right? Is that going to be every game going to just be revenge, right? You can't say that, right? Now when Lamar says that, he just means like he wants to beat every opponent, right? But I get it for the hype videos and things like that. That makes perfect sense, right? You want to get fans hyped for the season, but that's not the case for this kind of game. Okay, it's just not right. And then on the opposite side, say the Ravens lose this game to the Chiefs, which is entirely possible because what if the Chiefs, the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, right? So, they have every right to say that they're the best in the league, of course, right? What does that mean now that we didn't get revenge week one, that the season is over with? They beat us again. So this idea of this is going to be revenge for week one, I just don't buy that, right? So, but what I can say is it's going to be setting the tone of how you play for the year, all right? It's just week one. Things are going to change. People are going to get injured. You're going to lose pieces here. Hey, you might gain a piece in free agency or via trade down the line. But the Ravens have to show that last year, not that last year wasn't a fluke, because people know that the Ravens are a good team. People know that Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, right? But that the things that happened last year are going to happen again, right? You're going to take a step forward in year two under Todd Monken in this offense, right? So the passing game that was good last year, right? Can it become better, right? The main thing I'm looking out for in this game, right, is that can Lamar Jackson and Todd Monken together figure out a way to beat the blitz, right? And that's not all. It's not all on them, right? The receivers have to win. All those kind of things have to come together. But for me, when it comes from a play design standpoint, right, when a team is showing blitz and a team is showing that this cover zero kind of look, whatever, the Ravens don't tend to have somebody hot, right? Somebody that wants to just get the ball too quickly, right? It seems like every time, right, there's a blitz coming on, the Ravens are always calling these deep, long developing plays. This was an issue under Greg Roman. This was an issue last year, right? Especially in the AFC Championship game. Okay, so it's happened too many times to write it off as something that hey, they just got the best of us, right? There's something that was going on where they could tell when it was the right time to blitz, right? So what I'm hoping for this year is right, something that Lamar Jackson has talked about is that the fact that he has more control of his offense, one being in year two, and two just having more knowledge of just being a better football player, right? So when it comes to if he sees something at the line, he did some of this last year was checking into plays, getting the Ravens into better plays. I saw Lamar Jackson do this multiple times last year, right? Now can he do that and take it to a new level, right? Now not just about getting into a better place for any type of coverage, but specifically against the blitz, right? How can you handle that as an offense, right? So for the Ravens, that's the kind of things that I'm looking for, right? And also, Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry, I was listening to the Ravens Lounge podcast today. Something I didn't know about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry in his career is averaging over 100 yards a game versus the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Now, new team, new surroundings, but still the same player, right? Or same-ish player, right? He still has a lot left in the tank, okay? So the Ravens have to be committed to running football, all right? As much as I talk about the pass game and want to execute versus the blitz, a lot of what the Chiefs were able to do last year was because the Ravens abandoned the run so early. Can the Ravens actually stick to their game plan, right? That means 12, to me, that would mean 12 personnel, even distribution between run and pass, right? The Ravens don't have to be the highest rushing team in the league again, and don't have to be near the bottom of the attempts in rushing. In passing, excuse me. If they can find a middle ground where they can be, a top 10 passing offense and, up in the upper echelon of rushing offenses, that's a good balance, right? So that's kind of stuff I'm looking for offensively. On the defensive side of the ball, apparently Roquan Smith made some headlines because he said that we want to make the Chiefs one-dimensional, right? So we want them to pass the football, right? Now, on the face of it, you're like, well, why would you want Patrick Mahomes to pass the ball? He's the best quarterback in the league, this and that, right? And people kind of took it as Roquan, once again, disrespecting the Chiefs, right? When realistically, this is just a stock answer that every defender always gives when he's taking these kind of press conferences, right? But at the end of the day, when you're a defensive player, right, if you know what the offense is doing, run or pass, it makes them easier to stop, right? Now, is Patrick Mahomes, like I said, the best quarterback in the league, and yeah, you want to make him pass as a strategy most teams wouldn't take, of course, right? But typically, right, you're not going to have a player, especially somebody on the defensive side of the ball, say, yeah, we want them to run the ball on us all day long. That's just not how defenses are made up. Defenses are made up to be physical, right? And the most physical thing you could do is run the football, right? So they're not going to want to feel overmatched and overpowered by that, right? Then also, if you're running the ball so effectively, that's going to open up the passing game anyway, right? So the Ravens want to be able to take away Isaiah Pacheco and the Chiefs running game because it can make them easier to stop. It won't be easy, it won't be simple, but it makes more sense to have a team that is one-dimensional that makes them easier to play against, right? Now, as far as last year, and the Ravens played pretty good defense versus Patrick Mahomes. Okay, the Chiefs scored all their points in the first half of the game. Now people are going to say, well, the Chiefs stopped trying to score in the second half. They just held the ball. Listen, you can say that, right? But from the second quarter on, the Ravens played lockdown defense on the Kansas City Chiefs, no matter how you try to spin it. All right, now new DC, lose some pieces, but at the end of the day, this Ravens defense is going to be the same to me. It's going to go similar, I should say, right? So when I say this is not a revenge game, it's not. But it's a game that sets the tone for the season. It's a game that's going to show us, right, what the Ravens can be, right? What the Ravens are in week 1 and what they'll be in week 18 is not going to be the same team, right? So I'm not saying that. But you have to be able to show that against a team in Kansas City, the quality of the Chiefs, that you can go in there and win, right? The Lions did it last year. And the Lions had a great year, went to the NFC Championship game, right? Probably should have went to the Super Bowl, honestly. They probably should have beat, the 49ers, right? Ravens, can you get off to the kind of start that shows people around the NFL that, hey, the Ravens are here once again. So that's my thoughts on the game, right? So I'm not buying into the revenge game thing, but I do believe it's a game that sets the tone for the season, right? I will say that repeatedly, okay? So give me your thoughts about the game. Give me your thoughts about the video, man. I was spot out comments. So, but it's Gabriel, Fan TV. I'm out.